Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the mess. Okay, so listen. There was a clip um, that I saw a few days ago. It was of Judge Mathis. And so, for those who don't know, Judge Mathis and his wife are well, she filed for divorce. Now, whether or not she will withdraw the papers, I don't know. But she filed for divorce. She wants to end the marriage of, I think, 39 years. And so TMZ caught up with Judge Mathis in the airport the other day. And this is my thing. We all listen to things, we all watch things, and we can take away um, what we take away. I listened to what Judge Mathis said, and I listened to it more than a few times, and I was kind of confused on my opinion, kind of differing from the folks in the comment section. I saw a lot of people screaming, oh, we love a black man who takes accountability. Shout out to Judge Mathis for accepting accountability, 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 accountability. And my whole thing is, and I'm going to play the audio of the clip. My whole thing is, if you're screaming there's accountability, what's the point of you saying that someone is being held accountable for their actions if they continue the same actions? At some point, you taking accountability for what you have done, but you continue to do the same thing, it doesn't matter. It's almost like someone apologizing, but the behavior is not changing. You're just apologizing just to apologize, but your behavior is still the same. You taking accountability means nothing if you continue to do the same thing. So let me just play this clip, and I want to talk about what Judge Mathis said and why I thought it was some BS. I don't have an issue with Judge Mathis. I like Judge Mathis. I know he had a reality show with his family. I heard it was really cute. I love the fact that he supports his son, who is a gay man. Love it all, but that doesn't mean that I have to look at everything through the same lens. Let me go ahead and play this audio of Judge Mathis speaking, and then we'll talk. Okay, here we go. Judge Mathis, how are you today, man? I'm good. How you doing? I'm doing all right. I want to ask. I'm not good. Rather, it's the worst days of my life. How about that? Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to ask you, with news of the separation, how are you holding up? Not holding up very well. I would say the other man. Maybe I'll be an example for other men. Cautionary tale. Don't neglect your wife. See how many at the airport now, flying out, as I have for 40 or for 25 years. My wife has been third, serving the community, taping my show, having fun with friends. That's what happens, guys. Never be too busy or never have too much fun beyond your life. So I do want to ask, the date of separation is listed back in July 17th. Has this been coming for some time now, or was it something out the blue? Well, ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't. I'm still here on the road. Doing. So let's stop right there. You hear him say that basically a part of the problem is that he works a lot. His wife, other things come before his wife, whether it's him being, the community, friends, partying. His wife is not before some of those things. The truth is, the hard truth, what people don't want to accept, is that in some folks' journeys, you may not be first. I remember Quad from Married to Medicine saying, with her husband at the time she was married to Dr. G, she had to realize that she's not going to come first. She's going to come second to his patients. I remember Dolores from Real Housewives of New Jersey. I don't know if she ever accepted, maybe she did. She was with a guy named David. David was a doctor. David took his oath to
When I tell you he did not play, so David was serious about his oath, about him being a doctor, to to the point where everything else came afterwards. So I think that sometimes you have to acknowledge and accept that depending on who you're with, right, you may come second or third when it comes to this person's occupation. If you're with a doctor and you're on date night and something is happening with their patient, they may have to cancel date night and go see about their patient. You may be on another date night and the doctor may have to cancel date night again to go see about their patient. So, as hard as it may be a hard pill to swallow, you may come second. And then another thing, too, I'll leave that alone. As you can also hear him say, he committed to his wife. Basically, with him being in LA, he was going to be spending more time with his wife. But as you can see, he's still flying out again. You said that the thing that pretty much got you in trouble was the fact that everybody and everything came before your wife. You being gone for 25 years, you flying for 25 years, but yet here you are again flying out complaining about your wife. Like, you see what I'm saying? You're doing the same thing that got your ass in the situation that you're in to begin with. You expected your wife to continue to sit there and just twiddle her thumbs and be okay. But the gag is, your wife doesn't have to sit there. Before, she probably sat there because y'all had kids, a whole bunch of kids, and she probably raised those kids. Now the kids are grown, real grown, getting married, having kids of their own. So now it's just her at the house. So now ain't no reason for me. You can still gonna be gone. Before, I was here because of the kid. Now the kids are grown, and you said you were going to pull back some. And truth of the matter is, what the thing that people don't want to realize is when you are someone that's in a certain tax bracket. While yes, I understand that people have dreams and goals that they had way before they met their wife or their husband, but at some point, especially being their age, 65, 70 years old, girl, you're gonna have to start to pull back. And if you don't want to, that's completely fine. But you will lose some things. And some of those things you may lose may be your wife. It's simple. To me, it's very simple. You may have to pull back. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. There are things that may fall to the wayside. And one of those things may be your marriage. Because now we're 65. We've built this life. You have a net worth of $25 million. We don't have that long to live. So either you're going to continue to go on your journey where you serve the community, be there for your friends, and I won't be here when you get home, or either you're going to have to start putting me at the top of the list. And if you don't want to, again, I just won't be here when you get home. We're old. We don't have that much time to live. So either we're going to enjoy each other's company while all of our kids are grown and living their lives, and you can pull back on your work, or either you're going to continue to work and think that I'm going to stay here because that was an issue before and I stayed. And now I'm telling you I'm not staying. Now I'm telling you I'm leaving. And now I'm going to the courthouse and I'm filing for divorce. Let's listen to some of this again.
I want to ask, the date of separation is listed back in July 17th. Has this been coming for some time now, or was it something out the blue?
Well, ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't.
As you see, I haven't. I committed to changing. And as you can see, I haven't. Because as you can see, I'm still in the airport. Are y'all not listening to what this man is saying?
Still here on the road, doing
Still
the
here on the
same
road.
thing. And
Still here in the airport. Still here on the road. Still doing the same thing. That's why the lady is mad. Because we're pushing 70 and you're still doing the same thing. And you told me something different. And I expected something different. And since you're not doing anything different, I'm gonna do something different. And I'm gonna leave your black ass. So you can spend all the time you want to on the road.
in terms of going out into another city. But I was gone for 3 weeks. That's what July 17th meant.
Would you say you two are in a good place right now?
I was gone for 3 weeks. I was gone for 3 weeks.
Or able to maintain a friendship?
And my wife is at the house by herself, probably bored. Like, what I'm gonna do? The kids gone. The kids are grown. I mean, girl, I guess I could go shopping, but I'm tired of shopping.
Oh yeah, we're still in the same house and we're maintaining a friendship. And I'm trying to get my wife back. I have to show her that though. Hopefully.
You have to show her that, but you're not showing her. You're not showing her because you just admitted that you're doing the same thing that pretty much you were doing before. You have not changed. You have not changed your ways. He literally said it in the video. Like, are we not listening to what this man is saying? I think what the problem is because we don't see men show emotion outside of being angry and tearing up stuff and being violent, that when we do see a man, especially a black man, who sounds like he's been vulnerable, who may be whimpering, right? Sounds like he's on the verge of having a breakdown. I think the girls and boys fall down to their knees. Like, oh my God, there's a man crying. Oh my God, this is so sad. Oh my God. But girl, once you get past that and you listen to what he's saying, girl, what he's saying is some bullshit.
I can show her while we're there together before, and hopefully she doesn't complete the process. But I'm changing in hopes that she will. I'm gonna get my wife back. How about that? I just wanted to.
But in order for your wife to change her mind, you're going to have to change. Again, either Judge Mathis is going to say, I feel like my journey in life is to be dedicated to the community, and it's okay that this marriage is ending because I figured out that that's my journey. It's to help the community, and I guess to party with my friends. But if your wife is telling you that you're going to have to give up something, and it may not even be you giving up on the community, but girl, it's one thing for you to go, to help the community. At this point in the game, you're going to have to pull back. It's another example is what Garcelle, not Garcelle, Giselle, the model, and Tom Brady. There was scuttlebutt. I don't know if it was true or not, but there was scuttlebutts around saying that part of the reason why Giselle and Tom got a divorce was because Tom kept jumping in and out of the NFL. He retired, go back, retire, go back. And Giselle was like, girl, we rich, we filthy rich. Girl, you old. Like, what are you doing? It's time to do the family thing, spend time with us. And then he wanted to keep playing. So Giselle, they say chunk deuces. Now, again, those are just rumors and gossip. We don't know if it was true. But the point I'm trying to make is if it was true, I can see how certain people, when they have a certain lifestyle and now we have created this life, we're comfortable. Girl, you can pull back a little bit on the work. You ain't gotta stop working all together. But to be gone for 3 weeks, girl, what if you cut down, instead of being gone for 3 weeks, you leave for 1 week. You see what I'm saying? There's going to have to be a compromise. And it doesn't sound like Judge Mathis is willing to compromise. He just wants his wife to be his wife and be there. But the wife is saying, I need some change. But he sounds like he's not really changing.
Eliminate all them rumors too, that it's something about a baby or even me molesting a child. It's none of that. I've just told you what it is.
There were also, kind of some rumors of infidelity. Did you want to clear that up at all? You say it's solely neglect.
Well, neglect can create suspicion, certainly. And if you're gone as much as I am, you have every right to suspect. You go to work, you go serve in the community around the country, then you go with your guys to sporting events around the country, you go to other events, except without your wife hanging with you and enjoying herself with you. And so, yeah, she would have a right to suspect infidelity.
But there's none of that going on.
That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for this.
Hey, Judge Mathis, how are you today, man?
Let me tell you something. What it sounded like to me, now this is what it sounded like to me. It sounded like to me Judge Mathis was out here throwing dick at one point in the marriage. Shit happens. She stayed. Whatever you're doing, it's reminding her of the time that you cheated. And so when he says that basically, if she suspects that I'm cheating, I can understand why. I'm paraphrasing. I can understand why. You can understand because this is probably the same shit your ass was doing the first time you cheated. Or the second time. I don't know. Judge Mathis, I like Judge Mathis, but Judge Mathis is gonna have to get it together. If he really and truly wants to be with his wife, he gonna have to pull back on something. But it sounds like he's not pulling back on nothing. If you're not gonna, if your wife can't come before at least at least partying, girl, your friends are your friends, and you should not have to give up your friendships. But I think that a lot of us, as we get older, we realize that when people start to have families, when people start to have kids, things change. Now, I don't think that things should change like all the way to the point where God just don't have no access to you, and girl, we can't even hang out like at least like once every 2 months, once every month, like something. Girl, can I just come over, sister, and just hang out with the family? You know what I'm saying? Like things will change, and I don't think that Judge Mathis should stop having to be, having his homeboys or going out with his homeboys. But girl, you're gonna have to cut back on something. I don't think that's an unfair thing. Then again, I think that if people really honestly listen to what he said, they would realize that he has not changed his ways. He gave that lady a whole big ass bucket of empty promises. And she stayed and was waiting for things to change, and it didn't change. And now you're doing things that puts her in the headspace of you possibly being out here, girl, cheating on her. Girl, we Judge Mathis, I'm gonna need you to, if you want to be with your wife, girl, you're gonna have to get it together and change some shit. Tell your wife the truth. There are things that I still want to do. I still want to be there for the community. So instead of me going out and traveling around for 3 weeks straight, how about I commit to once a week? I mean one week. There's gonna have to be a compromise. I still want to hang out with my friends. So instead of me going out every weekend, I don't know if it's every, I'm just making up, giving examples. Instead of it being every weekend, what about every, like, what if we have like a boys' night here one night, right? Because you don't trust me going out hanging with these niggas. What if they come here? I'm just saying, like, you have to come to a point where there has to be some type of compromise. And if she's not willing to compromise, and if he's not willing to compromise, then girl, they're gonna have to come to a decision of what they're gonna do with their marriage. And it may be at this point we're not on the same page. I'm just saying, y'all. I ain't no expert in none of this shit. I'm just giving my little old opinion, my little old opinion. But based off what I've heard, I feel like this is 1+1=2. Listen to what Judge Mathis said. I'll put the link to the clip in the description box so you can really listen to what he said.